You know what the Joker really loves? What he really wants you all to be? Huh, do ya? Well, I'll tell ya. It's a toy rat. There, I said it. A toy rat.
What's up, collector fam? It's your boy Tony the Toy Rat, back with the second of two rigorous resin reviews for new PVC, pre-used or previewed, and this is a pre-used Joker from our friends at DC and ThinkGeek, which is now owned by GameStop, in case you're wondering. And I needed a Joker to add to the Batman section of my ever-growing collection of superhero figures and statues, which see blim behind me. With no further ado, as I promised, here comes number 2. It is Batman's The Joker. Okay, collector fan, with no further ado, it is time to crack open our friend the Joker here. Now, this has been previously opened, so no need for my handy-dandy scalpel tool, which I love to use so much, but this time's unnecessary. Batman. Okay. I'm gonna crack open our box. For those of you who are box collectors, as I showed you with the previous Catwoman statue, there is nothing inside this box that is pretty, or for that matter, keepable. Holy crap! For that matter, keepable. So I would probably just do what you should do with all of the boxes that you know you're not going to keep anyway, and recycle, please. Help Mother Earth. And since the plastic is already off, do the same with this. Recycle it. Yeah? Okay. Okay, cool. Just like the Catwoman, this Joker comes in exactly 2 pieces. I will have some things to say. In the meantime, I'm going to put him on the base here, as I think he's supposed to be. Okay, we'll try and get this right here. Is there a cut button on this thing? I don't know which side to put him up on. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's definitely that way. Okay, yep. Okay. I'll tell you what. They definitely want it to stay in. Once it's in, huh? I think. Oh, shit. Okay, well, give us a second. We'll put this back on and give you a full spin. And then we'll talk about it some more. That was silly looking. Okay, collector fan, we have returned. We're back, and we're chatting up the Joker statue from ThinkGeek, which is now owned by our friends at GameStop. That is our guy right here. He comes in 2 pieces. He is keyed down by the foot, and let me tell you, it is tight as all get out to push him in there. But once he's in there, he's not going anywhere. So, just so you know, it's very secure in that space. I'm going to hold on to him anyway. Just so you know, that is what the bottom of the base looks like. The Joker Statue Limited Edition. It doesn't tell you what number in the Limited Edition set that it is. So that's slightly problematic. But it's a Limited Edition run. In just the same way you can see here as the base that they used for our friend Catwoman, they mimicked what they did, and all they did was throw some crates on the top of the base. And I'm just gonna say, man, that's kind of lazy. So either they're trying really hard to create a very similar looking base for all of the characters that they're doing in this Jim Lee inspired lineup. By the way, I did wind up finding out that these are could be direct mimicry of work that is in the Hush series by Jim Lee. So hopefully by the time this thing airs, I'll have found where those comics are located, and I can at least give you some context as to why the characters are doing what they're doing in these particular scenes. But as you can see, this is a typical Joker looking crazy. Looks like he's in the midst of a monologue, right? Like, "Hi, Joker," kind of thing. That's quick Joker rendition. Don't you dare. I wonder about my choices sometimes. Here's what I will say. Obviously, we go for the portrait first. It's always the portrait. It's the portrait every single time, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, you know. So it looks like the Joker. He's got the green hair. He's got the red lips. He's got sort of an elongated jaw. You see Joker drawn that way very often. Not all the time, but often with a longer jaw, and the wider smile. Here he's got his hair sort of pushed back into a six head, and the rest of his his locks of green hair is sort of pushed back and gelled, slicked back. And he's got these two over curls that are rolling over the top of his wrinkly white forehead. And he looks like he's either snapped his fingers or is, again, in the midst of a very interesting story that he's regaling maybe the followers that are waiting for instruction for what to do next from the Joker. I will say, again, this is my second of... the other one we just opened up, which is Catwoman. And this is the second of the 1/9 scale. This is the second of my ThinkGeek statues. I will say from a costuming perspective, they nailed that as well. It's a very typical Joker costume. Even without the hair, if you just showed me the costume, I would know it's the Joker. So I would say that they nailed that wholeheartedly. On top of which, we'll say that this, to me, is a more dynamic stance. We're going to jump right back into that. And the dynamic stance here is more dynamic to me because it looks like he's in an actionable moment. Like he is like, yeah, he just bent down to tell this story. And he's very animated with his hands in his face. So for the portrait, I'm going to give it 3 cheeses. For the costuming, 3 cheeses. For dynamic pose, 3 cheeses. That's a 3 cheese statue. The only thing I really don't like about this particular statue, if I'm being honest with you, is the diorama. Here again, we're not telling much of a story. I will need to investigate further into the Hush series to determine whether or not these boxes are representative of a specific moment in time. But even if they are, it's sort of nondescript. It needs to have more character to the scene. And just adding wooden boxes, he could be, getting a shipment at the shore or in a warehouse somewhere. And I guess maybe that's the thought, is to sort of leave it ambiguous. But I would say that they, and by they I mean ThinkGeek, should maybe spend a little bit more time and attention to detailing out some of these diorama scenes and understand that it's not just a base, right? A diorama isn't a base. A diorama is there to help tell a story. What is the story it's telling? Are you leaving it up to me? Or are you telling the story? That's a pretty good question. Overall, if you keep the cost to $35 and under, and I'm sure you can with these 2 statues, I would tell you that they are worth adding to your collection. Both of them look really cool. I've seen much worse be done. Again, you will have to think long and hard about the scale of the stuff that you guys are interested in seeing because this is 1/9. In the meantime, they're going to go on the shelf. Different locations, but in the Batman area. And until then, it's your boy, Tony the Toy Rat. And this time we're for DC Comics, ThinkGeek, and GameStop. And our friends, the Joker and Miss Catwoman. And I am out. Go get you some, man.